Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Aggieville Alleycats podcast, where come rain, shine, or anything in between, we're going to deliver to you the Kansas State sporting news you so love. I'm Ace Edwards, right alongside
Connor Baltazar.
And welcome to this week's weekly recap, where it's a relatively short one, although we are sort of bracing ourselves for the influx of other non-revenue sports, like, well, men's basketball is a revenue sport, as well as women's basketball. Both of them have started practicing. Both of them are starting up with their press conferences. I believe Tang's already had one, which means Mitty will probably have one in the next few weeks. But for now, all we have to cover is the soccer and VolleyCats. So before we get started, though, the day that this episode is releasing, we do have an offensive breakdown for the K-State offensive breakdown that has been occurring during the entirety of this football season. So if you want to go ahead and watch that on our YouTube channel, feel free. It wasn't exactly the most fun process making that video, but I feel like it's educational. So that's it. We can just dive straight into the Soccer Cats, who only had one match in the meantime since our last episode. And unfortunately, it was a 1-0 loss against, I believe, number 10 or number 8 in the country, TCU. Okay. So, I mean, fine. I'm not going to get upset over losing to a top 10 team in the country. I'm just not going to do that, especially with a first-year head coach. And the fact that the only goal for the match was scored in the 83rd minute. So really it was a sort of neck-and-neck affair for the duration of the match, which really, I think the star of the game for K-State was almost certainly the goalkeeping. But even then, I'm happy with only losing 1-0 because in years past, we would have gotten destroyed like 4-0.
Yeah, this was a game I felt like the first half TCU kind of controlled, but the second half was honestly pretty much dead even, with K-State even taking a slight advantage in a few moments. But the shots ended up pretty close to even, 16 to 10 in favor of TCU for total, but it was an even 5-5 on shots on target. K-State put together some really great chances in the second half and got really close on a few, but they just couldn't quite finish. TCU, unfortunately, I was able to break through really late in this match, what was kind of on the trajectory of being a 0-0 draw. So this does kind of feel like one that almost slipped through K-State's fingers a bit, which is really unfortunate. Because this could have been a statement result for the Wildcats early on in this one. K-State has never beaten or tied with TCU in their program's history. So TCU is like 10-0 against K-State on soccer. So it's kind of a tough pill to swallow, but Ace is right. You know, this is a much better performance that we've been used to seeing from the soccer team. So I don't want to say like I'm happy, but I was more emotionally invested in this result than I've been in soccer in quite a while, probably since the program has started. That speaks well, I think, about the quality of play that we're seeing and the trajectory the program's on. So, I mean, they're not there yet, but honestly, yeah, in the second half, this felt like a game that K-State deserved to walk away with at least a draw. But that's just kind of how soccer goes. Just like one moment will kind of change the entire game. And that's what happened here. So, again, unfortunate result for the soccer team. But they played, particularly in the second half, really good soccer.
Yeah, and really good soccer is something we're not used to seeing from this program. And I think it's very important what you said, that you were actually slightly emotionally invested in this game. in this match, I should say. That is the first time that either of us have uttered those words about any K-State soccer team. So to me, that's just credit to Colleen Cross for getting someone who doesn't like soccer, also known as me, at least with having a passing interest in the team. And then you, who will watch soccer if it's on, granted, I think that you enjoy soccer to an extent. I'm not going to speak for you, though.
No, I do. I do like soccer. It's not like my favorite sport in the world, but I do like it. I was a bit, like, there's probably more like major sports that I like than don't like. But soccer, like, I will definitely watch it. I don't always watch it, but except for when it's K-State, I watch every game. But like, otherwise, like, I occasionally will make an effort to watch it, but it's not like I'm up at like 6 a.m. on Saturdays to watch the Premier League every week. But I've really grown to like soccer a lot in the last 5-8 years, maybe.
Because I remember, this is a complete aside story. When we went to the NFL draft, we got so bored because we got there, 2 or 3 hours early, that we just started sitting on the grass in front of like the grassy area, not in Union Station, but behind it. And we just watched a random, I think it was La Liga. We just watched some random soccer match. And I was like sitting down watching it for that's how bored we were, I was willingly watching soccer.
Yeah, total side note. NFL draft, glad I went. Don't really want to do it again.
No, I especially because it kind of got warm for a while. It reeked of weed, and we couldn't hear a damn thing for most of it. So
maybe if I had a chair, I'd go again, and like was like closer than half a mile away to the stage. I suppose what I'm saying is, under any sort of like reasonable conditions, I would go again, rather than like obtaining the bare minimum set of entry to like stand like 3,000 feet away from a stadium with a guy that everyone hates reading names off a list. But
hey, it was good to go for once. But
oh yeah, it was. We got to watch Felix get drafted. We waited like 8 hours for that to happen. That was a very exciting moment when it did happen.
Yeah, my cat has decided to be a little menace right now for the duration of this episode, after being so calm for the past 3 hours. But that's how it goes, isn't it? But the next matches for K-State are up against Baylor in Manhattan this Sunday at 11:30, and then the Sunflower Showdown in Lawrence next Thursday starting at 6. So again, competitive team, working really hard. So if you have time this weekend in Manhattan, go out and see them. I think tickets are $5-ish.
Yeah, I went to the TCU match, and they were, I think they say $9, but they're like actually like $8.60 or something like that online. So like, they're fairly affordable if you are a student, or if you like still have your student ID, you can get in for free. So
that's it for the Soccer Cats. Now we can talk about the VolleyCats, who had themselves a pretty good weekend as well, with 3-2 victories against teams from the state of North Carolina. The first one being the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, better known as just UNC, where they end up winning 3-2. The sets go 25-16 North Carolina, 25-19 K-State, 25-11 K-State, 25-13 North Carolina, and then K-State walks away victorious in the final set, 15-10. And even in the times that they didn't win those, I mean, never mind. They're in the sets that they won, they were pretty dominant in hitting. In the 3 sets that they won, sets 2, 3, and 5, they hit 275, 478, and then 389. However, in sets 1 and 4, they hit .083 and then .00, which is not what you want to see. But still, hitting that well in those 2 sets, really, really impressive up against who was a ranked team in North Carolina. If you're looking for leaders, Shaylee Myers led in kills with 27. Ava the Grand led in aces and assists with 2 and 45. Brenna Schmidt led in blocks with 4, and then Simone Sibbs led in digs with 18. So really impressive victory, and I think this victory alone put K-State into the receiving votes category for volleyball rankings.
Yeah, I think this win paired with beating a quality East Carolina team, like K-State is now kind of in that fringe top 25 area. I think they're unofficially 31st in the coaches poll. Some advanced analytics, and I found their Massey rating. They're 27th, actually. They moved up a little bit. So they're in a really good spot going into conference play. I mean, going 7-1 with a solid strength of schedule in a non-conference, with a very strong conference schedule. They're in a position where if they have a decent conference season, like go about 500, hopefully a little bit better, then they're probably in the NCAA tournament. I mean, this non-conference went almost as well as it could have. I think if you are going to be realistic and go and expecting that we stumble once or twice, I think this did go about as well as it could have. And it's clearly a much improved team. And I think this North Carolina game is a great example of it. I mean, this is the sort of match that this team last year would have lost. Going back and forth, looking like they belong, but running out of steam. But yeah, this was just an all over the place match between these 2 programs. I mean, particularly towards the back end. I mean, just like some utter blowout sets both ways. So the offense was prolific for these squads. But Shaylee Myers in particular was absolutely fantastic. I mean, 27 kills on 54 attempts with just 4 errors, throwing 2 service aces, a solo block. I mean, those are like fringe All-American numbers, like in a vacuum right there. I mean, and Shaylee Myers won Big 12 Player of the Week due to her performance this weekend. I mean, she really is kind of jumping from a fine role player to playing like a potential conference player of the year at this point, which is unbelievable and an incredible jump that she has made. I mean, because she's been borderline unstoppable. Like truly great stuff from Shaylee Myers early. But we've also been seeing a lot of other players too. More of the young players have been rotating in more and more. Alex Cluckvin played against North Carolina. She's a true freshman out of Olathe. She played in 3 sets, and she had 4 digs. This one, Emerson Van Lannen, she had 2 aces. She's got a really great service. But then, of course, it was mostly our main rotation. It was nice to see Jordan Williams back in the lineup. She was very much in and out of the lineup for long stretches last year. So I'm glad that her injury she sustained in California was not a long-term one.
Yeah. And they've looked good. I mean, 7-1, obviously, to start the year. The only loss to another team that was receiving votes in their home court. So, yeah, I mean, they're looking really, really good this year. Might find themselves ranked next time around if they can take care of Arizona and if they're competitive against number 8 in the country, Arizona State. But honestly, I think this team is good enough where being competitive against Arizona State shouldn't be the goal, because we have watched them take down top 10 teams at home with teams that I feel are significantly worse than this one.
Yeah. I mean, you think back a couple years, I mean, they, back in Mansfield's first season, they had that rough start to the year, but they just absolutely exploded in the conference slate. They beat a ranked Baylor team on the road. They beat a ranked TCU team at home. And then they swept Texas, who at the time I think was either unbeaten or only had one loss. And that was a team that got close but just missed out on making the NCAA tournament. They just didn't start hot enough. But yeah, this team has, Jason Mansfield has shown a tendency to kind of play up when they're playing these ranked teams and high quality teams. And Arizona is a good squad as well. They're 55th in the Massey ratings right now. But yeah, Arizona State, they're number 8 in the coaches poll. They're 10th in the Massey ratings. K-State certainly has a shot against them, knowing their history against top flight programs in Morgan Family Arena. But I guess it just comes down to their matchup, because there's been an area K-State struggling a bit this year. It's been defense and stopping opponents from scoring when you need to. The offense has, for the most part, been there for K-State when they've needed it, with only a few exceptions. So it's hopefully K-State can take care of both of the Arizona squads that come and visit this weekend. I'll be there for Arizona. I'd imagine I'll probably be there for Arizona State as well, but I'll definitely be there for Arizona. But yeah, if you get a chance, come watch these teams. These K-State volleyball squads are super fun. It's a great environment.
Yeah. And then the other matchup that they had in North Carolina was up against East Carolina. That was another 3-2 victory for K-State. Sets went 25-20 K-State, 25-21 East Carolina, 25-15 East Carolina, then 25-22, and then 15-10, both in favor of K-State. Now, this one was a little bit more of a balanced hitting performance outside of the first and last set, where they hit .40 and .55. Everything else was pretty average to below average, including another .083 set, which is weird that happened twice in a 3-2 loss against a school from North Carolina, but it might have even been the same set. But again, walking away victorious is all you really ask for. And also, again, to sound like a broken record, Shaylee Myers almost certainly gets MVP, 23 kills, 3 aces. And then other leaders include Jordan Williams with 5 blocks, Ava LeGrand with assists and digs at 49 and 22. Though Anaya Clinton also had herself a really good game with 20 kills and 8 digs. So all in all, great performances all around.
Yeah, Anaya Clinton, K-State for conference play really, really needs her to become a consistent threat, because when she is on, I think she's a more dangerous offensive weapon than Shaylee Myers in terms of her pure power and difficulty to counter. Shaylee is just way more consistent at this stage, but when Anaya's locked in, really no one can stop her. And that's been the issue so far this season, is that she has just been heavily variable from set to set in terms of how reliable of a player she is. Like, the talent is there, and we've seen it work. But, to set to set, we need her to become like a really strong partner to Shaylee Myers on the other side. So if she can do that, then this K-State offense is going to be really difficult to stop, particularly if Reagan Fox continues to be a solid complementary piece. If Ava LeGrand can get a few sneaky kills from the setting position, a few times per match. Jordan Williams can get back to full health. And if we can get some good servicing from a few other players. Emerson Van Lanen had 3 aces in this match. So she has kind of become a reliable part of the rotation where she can come in and pick up a few points per match just because of how great of a service she has. But Shaylee Myers is by far the most consistent offensive weapon. But Nia Clinton, if she can get into a point where she's really consistent in her attack, then K-State is going to be a tough engine to stop offensively. We've seen her do it. But if she can just take the next step and just get a little bit better, then this is going to be a fun team to watch. And they already are a fun team to watch, but they can really take that next step. But they're close right now. They just haven't quite done it quite yet.
Yeah. So the next steps for the VolleyCats, as we mentioned, are the 2 Arizona schools this Friday and Sunday, and then in West Virginia, in Morgantown, October 1st, Wednesday. So we'll have 3 matches to cover next week. But all in all, really, really solid week for the non-revenue sports, again, which kind of are our only hope right now, given other events, but hopefully that improves as well. But Connor, do you have any final notes before we sign off?
I guess shout out to the women for carrying the university sports right now.
True. I love women.
Known women enjoyers over here at the Aggieville Alleycats podcast.
Anyway, thank you all for listening to this episode of the Aggieville Alleycats podcast. If you want to follow or contact the show, you can follow us just about anywhere at Aggieville Alleycats. And if you want to email us, we're AggievilleAlleycats@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on a more personal note, I'm at ACEdward00.
I'm at Connor Baltzor, capital C, capital B.
And if you want to support the show financially, please be sure to check out the official Aggieville Alleycats merch store, link found in our podcast and Twitter bio. But most importantly, thank you all for listening to this episode of the Aggieville Alleycats podcast. Where come rain, shine, or anything between, we're here to deliver to you the Kansas State sporting news you so love. Stay safe, Alleycats.